Hi guys, Devil's Monster Rock Crawler. Been using this for quite a while now. It was originally a toy grade, so I stuck a big servo on the front for the steering to convert it to hobby grade. Still got the original motors in it, although they've got carbon brushes instead of the original cheap brass ones. Flysky receiver. I think it's only a 20 amp ESC that I got in there, just one of those little generic cheap ones, and it works fine. Had a few problems over the time with it, mainly around the four-wheel drive at the front. The dog bone bits keep failing, and at the moment, as you can see, I can turn that wheel and nothing's happening. If I turn that one, they both turn. So looks like the dog bone, the little bit of plastic, is slipping on the axle again. So we're going to take it apart and have a little look. This thing's been apart so many times, I'm beginning to worry that the threads for the plastic threads where the metal screws go into them are probably going to fail, and it's all going to start falling apart soon. Another thing that failed on this one was that front steering linkage, the one that's orange at the moment. I got one of my friends to 3D print one for me. I designed it myself on Tinkercad and sent him the files, which he did, and it worked fine. But somebody else pointed out that I'd got a little bit more left than right, or right than left, I can't remember which it was, because I'd made it a bit too short. So now I've got my own 3D printer. I printed my own version, which is a little bit longer, and as you can see, I don't know if you can see because the sunlight's on it, isn't it? But the servo arm is now vertically hanging down, whereas it was slightly off to one side when it was too short. So that seems better. When we get in there, when I stop waffling, you'll be able to see the bit that's causing the problem now. It's a piece I have replaced. The original dog bone just broke, so I actually made one from some plastic components of another car, from the steering from another car. Right, oh no, got another one there. So many screws in this. They're going to come apart now. Oh, I've got another one. How did I miss that? There we go. Okay. So the bit that we've actually got a problem with is this bit just here. I think, to be honest, it's the other one that's turning. Yes, that's one. Gosh, the sunlight's really bright now. I can't see whether you can see what I'm looking at or not now. I can't see it in the screen. Yes, I made that out of the steering linkage on another toy car. It didn't look like that. I had to file it down to make it fit. But clearly it's now slipping on there. So I could either try and make a new one, or I could just, it looks like it's slipped out a little bit, so if I just put some super glue on there and push it back on, it'll probably last for a bit longer. Though while I'm at it, I could take some measurements off it, or at least take some measurements off this one, which is the original. You can see they look slightly different, and I could possibly print myself a new one, couldn't I? Is that even in the camera? I just cannot see that screen at all now. That sun has come out so bright. Typical. It's been raining most of the day. Yeah, I'll take some measurements, see if I can 3D print a new one while we're at it. Well, this is getting very frustrating. Started off quite simple. Print a dog bone. Carefully measured it. Designed it. But although that's a 3mm shaft, it doesn't go in what the printer said was a 3mm hole. So I printed it bigger, and that was too loose. Printed it again, that was too loose. Printed it again, it was too tight, so I heated it and put it in, and then found it didn't go in quite far enough, so that was upsetting the steering. So I then printed it again. It's the size of the hole. The numbers on there, which you probably can't read, are 4, 5 and 6, which are actually 3.4mm, 3.5mm and 3.6mm. And all of those are too loose. So I've now gone and printed 6 versions. 3.1mm, 3.2, 3.3, 3.4, 3.5, 3.6. Too loose, too loose, too loose. Oh, that one's just about there. And that one would be very tight. And they're just going to pop off there so I'll forget which ones are which. Just put 2 on there for now. So, yeah, it's not actually printing the size it says, so you've got to allow a little bit for expansion, contraction, whatever. So do we go for the 3.2 one and force that one on? That would seem to be the logical one to go for. Need to trim up the actual little bits that stick out. I'll tap that one on, see if we can get it all the way on. And see how that goes. Right, so that goes in there. Okay, that feels good. There. Go. Right. I might just clean that one, that's a bit dusty. Alright, see if we can get this in. Probably put a bit of grease on them, but I'll leave it for now. Right, that's together. This one's, so to say, this one's been apart so many times. I don't suppose you need to see me screwing it together. I'll stop here and we'll have a look in a minute when it's all back together. All back together, so we'll give it a test run. See if it goes any better with all 4 wheels driving. Thanks for watching. You'll find more information down in the video description. You might like to watch that video up there, and you might like to subscribe over there.